Hello everybody, I'm RENZO and welcome back to another RENZO mock review. And today, thanks to you guys voting, this is the next mock that we're taking a look at, Lofty the Magician. So let's not waste any time, let's just dive right into it. I guess the first major thing to talk about is just how big he is. You might not be able to tell, but he is massive compared to the other mocks. Just taking a look at one of my other mocks from my last video, just look at how tall he is. If I had RENZO with me, I'd show off a size comparison, but he is massive compared to most of my other mocks. Now, this was done on purpose. I had an extreme lack of tall mocks in my collection. Most of the aliens that you'd see in RENZO are much either normal size or much smaller little Akotan-sized build characters, but I wanted to mix things up a bit and start introducing taller characters because I figured, hey, this is a place full of aliens. This is a universe full of different types of aliens. Why don't we have some more diverse sizes? So I built Lofty as an example of that. Now birds are usually very like skinny and tall, and that was definitely the inspiration for Lofty here. Now Lofty, speaking of inspiration, he has a ton of different types of inspiration. Obviously he's a wizard. The name Lofty comes from the game Spyro the Dragon. I just kind of ripped that right off from there. I really like that. I wanted to use that, and just overall his character design is very silly and over the top, something that you'd see in the Spyro games if you guys played them. But he's very over the top, and the next type of inspiration came from these, his cape on his back here. If you guys know, these are the cloth pieces from the Green Energy Dragon set from Ninjago. Now I actually had that set, but I took it apart and I sold all my system pieces. But I kept these around because I wanted to use them eventually, and I just had no idea what to use them for. And then I was coming up with ideas. I looked at these pieces and I said, hey, what if I use them for like a wizard cape or something like that? So I used one and I really liked that, and then a friend of mine said, hey, why not use two, because he's a bird and you can kind of get that like bird wing vibe. So these aren't actually wings, they are capes, but it does look like wings because he's a bird, and I really like that idea. So yeah, that's kind of how that came to be. I'm not a huge fan of his color scheme. It's very, very simple, but I guess it works for him. It's very, again, very basic, but again, I think that works. So yeah, let's just go through them because there's a lot to get through. First of all are his legs. His legs and his arms are actually built pretty much identically. I don't like that too much, but whatever. His legs are very standard. He's got these big, big feet, like, look at that. He's got massive looking feet. Very long, skinny legs. His legs actually can't articulate. Let me bring the lamp forward so you guys can see this, because I realized it's in the dark again. His legs can't actually bend that well. It stops because of the piece I put here, but this helps with balancing a lot actually, so I prefer to keep it like that. The legs are a little skinny for my taste, but again, it's nothing too major to the point where it's just doesn't work. I think it looks fine. I wish I had some more blue involved in the legs, but he's kind of wearing like pants or shorts or something, so that's kind of funny. He does obviously have he's got a custom build actually, which is fun because the character, like, I wanted this character to have a much more different build than most of my other mocks, so he does have a custom build. I love the idea of using these pieces or these panel pieces here as a chest piece. So I gave him that. He does have the rib cage, and then he has this little glowy orb here. His arms are about the same. There's an extreme lack of articulation. That's about as much as he can go. I will mention the fact that I'm not a huge fan of the fingers. I don't like the claws plus the Borak eye. I think that looks a little funky, but I don't have that many blue Exoforce Exoforce arms, so it's kind of hard to get a better looking finger. I'll probably end up modifying that, but his arms are about exactly the same as his legs, so about the same build, I mean. And he does have a little wand here, as you can see. He's barely holding on to it. It's just kind of hanging in there, but here's the wand. Nothing special, just a little build here. And as you can see, I did give him a little holder so that he can hold his wand on his leg. Nice and safe storage. Also, you may be able to see he does have a black fingernail on one hand. That was done because I ran out of silver ones, and it was kind of hard to see in that lighting. Yeah, that's better. Okay. But I ran out of the silver ones, so yeah, that's the only reason why he is a black one. The arms can lift up a decent amount. As you can see, this end of the cape actually does lift up. They're attached differently, so this cape is held down by the Borak eye on his shoulder here, but this one hangs over his arm, so it's a lot more it's a lot more free. It does kind of look funky, but I mean, he's a wizard. That's what I was going for. The actual body isn't that complex, but I actually really like it. Specifically, I like how the Borak eyes flow there. I think that looks really nice. And if we turn to the back, I'll lift that up so you guys can see a little bit more. No crazy techniques done in there. It's not an extremely custom torso. It just uses a gearbox as the frame. So, yeah. Let's talk about this head, because as you can see, he's a bird-based creature, and he does have a little bit of a witch hat. Hey, you can see the mock. I wrote that a long time ago. But he's a bird-based creature, and the original head was just a really simple, like, looking Mata hand with a, let me bring the lamps forward so you guys can see this. It was just a very simple build, and then I got some negative feedback, so I went it back, and I modified the crap out of it, and now he's a bird. The beak is purposely super movable and derpy, because I was trying to figure out how I could do it, and you can get a lot of funky looking poses with that. So a lot of derpy poses, and you know, that can move all the way around. I don't recommend it. Oh god, that actually doesn't look too bad, kind of. Actually, that looks a little, I don't know, no, I'm just gonna flip it around again. That's gross. His eyes, actually, if you notice, they are off-center. This eye is a little bit looking down, and this eye is looking up. I like that detail. It makes them extra derpy looking. Articulation is pretty standard. His hat actually does move around quite a lot, because it's on a free pin, so it does move around a little bit. Oh, sorry that the lighting is so bad here. He does have a little bit of old man hair, just to add to that little feeling of he's old and weird. He also does have the hat, and it's like a witch's hat. I actually really like that hat. It's got the Borak eye on there. I tried to fill it up with some of these pieces. I think that looks really interesting, actually. I feel like it wouldn't have as much character if I didn't give the Borak eye, so yeah, I'm glad I did that. But, I think that's it, actually. Yeah, that's about it for Lofty. I mean, I've basically covered everything. He's definitely an interesting fellow, that's for sure. So Lofty the Magician is a freaking weirdo. That's no surprise with most of my mocks nowadays, but I just have so much fun with stuff like this. The colors aren't anything amazing. It's nothing I haven't done before, but it's nice and simple, and it gets the point across that he's kind of this weird, energetic magician, and he's a bird, and I actually really like building bird mocks. I like building taller mocks. I just like building mocks that are a lot more in-depth and weird. I like stuff like that, so he's definitely, and you guys should have seen the original version of him. It was incredibly simple, so I changed him up a lot. He's a bird now. He's got these fancy looking capes here, and I genuinely really enjoy that look for him. I'm really excited for him to debut in RENZO. Sadly, I don't think he will be in RENZO until like Season 2, maybe. I have no role for him right now, which sucks because I really like him. He's got a lot of fun looking character that I think he's gonna be a fun looking dude. But actually, yeah, this guy, I should mention, he's not a villain. He's actually a good guy. And by good guy, I mean he's more or less just a normal civilian. He's not an actual villain. I want to clear that up before, because the next two mocks that I'll be covering are villains. So yeah, I just wanted to clear that up. But yeah, that's about it for Lofty. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I had a lot of fun reviewing him. And please make sure to vote towards the end of the video. And I hope you guys enjoy. Anyways, this was Lofty the Magician, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye. Hello everybody, welcome back to the voting corner. It's the area where you guys pick the mock for the next review. And now we have just 2 left until obviously our next review, where we'll be looking at the last one out, and then finally we'll be moving on to a bunch of new mocks, because as you guys should know, I have a bunch of mocks in store. So obviously you guys picked Lofty last time, so now we actually have these two, which I have names for. I'm going to be switching up the letters so that it's not too confusing, because I don't want to be like A, C, because that's kind of annoying, so I'm just going to switch it to A and B this time around. So, you guys can vote on either A, Ninja Samurai. I don't have a name for him yet, but I will be coming up with a name for him if you vote for him. Just call him Ninja. So vote A, Ninja, or B, I actually have a name for this guy. It's Dragknott the Warrior. So Dragknott is this guy's name. It's very different from anything else, but it's a very different name for him, but I like it. It definitely gets his character across once we dive into that review. So either A, Ninja, or B, Dragknott the Warrior. So you guys choose, you guys vote, and that's about it for me. So I hope you guys have fun voting. Good luck. See you guys later. Goodbye.